Hello, this is Tristan. Thank you for joining me. Today we are making French onion soup, an absolute classic, maybe the most classic hot soup in the European repertoire. Despite its fame, maybe you've never gotten around to making it yourself. Ultimately, it's very simple and especially delicious when it's cold outside. Lately it's been pretty chilly here, so I had a craving. So let's peel back the mystery of this celebrated soup. This recipe is by Jacques Pepin and comes with a sophisticated little twist at the end. When I say simple, I mean it. There aren't many ingredients in this recipe, so it's all about the harmony between caramelized onions, stock, cheese, and bread. Let's start with the star of the show, the onions. I need approximately a pound or half a kilo of onions, which is about 3 medium onions. I peel my onions by using a small knife, removing both ends and then making a small cut and peeling back the outer layer. I do this before I even get out my cutting board because I hate it when those little bits of onion skin get stuck on the board. With the onions peeled, it's time to slice. I just split them in half and get to slicing with my chef's knife. They don't need to be paper thin, but keep them slim and consistent in size. It helps with the next stage of the process, which is the vital step of browning or caramelizing the onions. Get out a nice heavy pot and set it on high heat. Add 3 tablespoons of butter to the pot, all of your onions, and a surprising ingredient, a half a cup of water. Put the lid on the pot and let them be for about 5 minutes. When teaching about browning and searing and cooking, I will often say that steam and moisture are the enemies of good browning. This is true, but we can't brown these onions until they have become soft and wilted. And while they would eventually soften with the lid off and no water, the addition of the water greatly speeds up the first part of this process. Checking in under the lid, a few minutes later, we can see that the onions have in fact cooked down a good bit already and are much softer. When filming, I waited a couple minutes before adding my water, which is why mine took some initial color, but yours will likely be colorless. Now we can keep the lid off and continue to cook, stirring often with a wooden spoon. We want the heat high enough so the onions are taking color, but if you notice scorching, drop the heat a little bit. This phase is all about keeping things moving and having faith. Let the onions get that deep brown color, or the soup won't have that depth of flavor. Don't fear if you get sticking on the bottom of the pan. Just keep scraping it up with that wooden spoon. Mahogany buildup is fine, but if it turns to black, quickly drop the heat. After 10 to 15 minutes, you should have something like this. It's pretty amazing how little is left after all that cooking, but worry not, as these cooked onions pack big flavor. The next ingredient is 8 cups or about 2 liters of homemade chicken stock. You could also use a beef stock, or sometimes I'll do a hybrid chicken and beef stock. Either way, I really encourage you to make your own stock. It's really simple and the flavor doesn't lie. I have a video on how to do it pretty quickly. Again, this is a very simple recipe, and with simple recipes, each component becomes all the more important. At this point, we can also go in with a teaspoon of salt and a few grinds of fresh black pepper. That all comes up to a boil, and then we drop the heat to a strong simmer. You may get some gray foam during this process, and even though it isn't harmful, I like to take a spoon and get rid of it. Now we just let that go for about 15 minutes so the flavors can meld, and in the meanwhile we can work on our bread. I have a small baguette here to keep things traditional, but really any nice quality white bread would work. I'm slicing about 20 thin slices of bread. I arrange them on an oven tray and then I drizzle them with a little bit of olive oil. They then go into an oven set to 400 Fahrenheit or 200 Celsius for about 8 to 10 minutes until they are golden brown and crispy. Set those aside for now. Back to our soup base, we want to give that a taste. Listen to your heart. Does it need a little more salt? Is the flavor intense and deep? If not, maybe consider letting it simmer a little longer. As the volume reduces slightly, the flavor will increase. Mine needed a little longer, so I used that time to prep the last of our ingredients. We need 2 cups of either shredded Gruyere or Emmenthaler cheese. That's about 8 ounces or 200 grams. I just grate that with the largest holes on the box grater. Tasting our soup base again, I like where it's at, so it's time to assemble and gratinée our soup. What you need is soup bowls or tureens that are oven-proof. This recipe makes enough for 6, but I'm cooking for 2 tonight, so you will just see me assembling that many. I saved the rest of the ingredients for later in the week. You could also do it in one big dish. The soup is all about layers, from the onions to the assembling, so start by adding some toasted bread slices in the bottom of the bowl, then sprinkle in some cheese, now another layer of bread and some more cheese. Now, with a ladle and a steady hand, fill your bowls with your soup base. Leaving just a little room for a final layer of cheese. With our soup tureens on a sheet tray, they now go into the oven, which is still at 400 Fahrenheit, 200 Celsius, and cook for about 30 minutes, or until the crust has become a golden brown patina. A caramelized mosaic, if you will. Now, these are still ripping hot, and I did promise a twist. In Jacques' recipe, he showcases a twist that is common in Lyon. And for that I need an egg yolk, which I simply separate with my clean hands, and a 1/4 cup of port wine. Again, double this if you are making the full version. I just whisk those 2 things together. Jacques points out that typically everything is simply mixed together tableside, becoming a delicious mess. And you are more than welcome to do that. But for the sake of increasing our presentation just a little bit, I will be a bit more surgical. Because our soup has a thick crust, we can actually just remove it in one piece if we are careful. And then we just drizzle in that port mix and give it a bit of a stir. Then the cheese cap goes back on. I really love this variation. The port really complements the sweet taste of those caramelized onions, and the yolk is an extra bit of rich indulgence. And with that, our soup is ready to serve. Oof, delicious. A certified classic for a reason. Thank you for joining me. I hope you enjoyed this look at a simple yet complex greatest hit of the soup world. I hope you give it a try some chilly night and consider trying the alteration from Lyon. If you did in fact enjoy the video, don't forget to hit the corresponding button, and please subscribe while you are at it. It only takes a click, it's free, and keeps you tapped into my stream of content. I'm a professional chef and love distilling my knowledge into pleasant, calm, and informative videos. And if you have any questions or just have something to say, don't be shy in the comment section. I always give a proper response. Thanks again for watching. Until next time, cheers.